Welcome back, everyone, to Multichat. Dan, we are here because we are going to talk about, our most disappointing game. The most we've been disappointed by video game.
Some of.
That was perfect, right? Yeah.
That was amazing.
So, before all of this, Dan did ask all to pick 5 games. I have picked 5, but I've also got 3 honorable mentions that I don't want to spend too long talking about, right? Because we don't need to. Number 1, Duke Nukem Forever.
Oh, we're going straight in.
Yeah, literally.
No, these are my honorable mentions.
Oh,
right?
these are the honorable mentions. Okay.
Yeah, we don't need to spend too long.
You just want to get them out of the way. All right.
Yeah. So that one's obvious. Everyone has a distaste for that. It's taken.
I can totally counter and say I enjoyed that game.
Well, you're wrong.
Oh.
I had a great time with it, especially the levels where you like shrink down into like mini Duke.
Dude, it just felt so bad. Like the game feel of it when you like turned, it felt really robotic.
Yeah, it didn't play in the most responsive manner, but
yeah,
for me, the writing more than made up for it. The dialogue in that game was great. Like, I had a great time.
I'm not gonna lie, like the writing was really good, but just like the game feel just brought it down so much because it's meant to be a game about shooting alien monsters, shooting up my ride, you know? Like it's just
chewing gum and kicking ass.
Yeah. Anyway, that's number 1. Yeah. Number 2 is Battlefront 2.
That's completely fair.
The remake Battlefront 2.
That is completely fair.
Everyone knows why. Just like no ground to aerial combat in one map. It was just bad. And it was very monetized as well. And then number 3 is Borderlands pre-sequel. I think a lot of Borderlands fans agree with this. Pre-sequel was really weak following number 2, which is still the best game in the series. But yeah, I felt like pre-sequel was just a big step back. But anyway, that's my honorable mentions. If anyone has any honorable mentions, please take the floor.
I've got a couple. If
honorable mentions, or your 5s.
Honorable mentions.
Okay, go for
it. Number 1 is a game that I did enjoy.
It's ready or not.
No. That's a great game. It's ready or not. Like I said, I did enjoy it because we played it, and it was a lot of fun. But it was so short.
I felt like there wasn't enough actual stealth missions as well, where you actually had to like clear rooms. It turned into a like shoot at the end of the game. Yeah,
by the last like 3 missions, you would just kill anyone on sight, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great time. But it just ended so suddenly. I mean, we literally we've completed the final mission, and then we were just sat there going, "Oh, that was it."
Yeah, yeah, that is true.
I was wondering why you guys weren't playing that.
Yeah.
My second and last is Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Never played it.
But I think that's mainly just I couldn't get into it because I've only got like 5 hours into it, maybe even less.
Right. Did you play a lot of like the older Assassin's Creed games?
2, Brotherhood, Black Flag, and a bit of 1, I believe.
Black Flag's great.
Yeah. I love Black Flag. But yeah, I wanted to get into Mirage, but just couldn't. I don't really know what was about it, which is why it's just an honorable mention. But I just couldn't get into it, and I dropped it really quickly.
Sure.
But yeah, that's mine. That's mine too.
I've got a couple of honorable mentions, I guess. Then
go for it.
Yeah, go on.
The first one would be Wii Sports Resort.
Okay. Yeah. No. Wait. No shot, dude.
I just ended up going back and no. I mean, that's its own.
Yeah, that's its own one.
That should have made the list, to be fair. But when Wii Sports Resort came out, I just ended up going back and playing Wii Sports.
No, dude, with the Motion Plus and like table tennis and how the Motion Plus gave you more control, it made me really enjoy Wii Sports Resort.
Fair. Well, my second one is Pokemon Battle Revolution.
PBR?
Yeah, because after you've done Stadium and then Stadium 2, and you've had all the fun with, the
mini
Elite
games.
Four, the mini games, all that stuff,
Yeah.
and then you could also just choose
It turned into just a battle simulator for like getting your Diamond Pearl Pokemon into 3D.
Never even heard of that one.
And
Do you know what? It's like an early Wii game.
No, I agree.
I'm looking at it. It
Dan.
looks bad.
Yeah.
It didn't look bad. It looked really good because all they focused on was the fighting.
I'm sorry. It looks fine,
Yeah,
but from what I can see of what was offered, you're right. It's just a glorified,
it's a battle simulator. It was a
where's
3D
the heart?
battle
Where's
simulator.
the love?
Yeah. No, I
Games.
completely forgot about that game, Dan. I agree. Yeah. What were you, Tom? Any honorable mentions?
This is an honorable mention just because I was disappointed I was a child, but I was really hyped to play Bionicle on the GameCube, and we waited for what felt like eons to play this game.
Yeah.
And it finally came to the UK because we got things really slow after seeing the magazines.
Sure.
Nintendo magazine, and when I got it, it just felt like a really watered down Jack and Daxter or Crash Bandicoot type game, and it didn't feel like I had a lot of thought on it. It just felt like an IP slapped on something that could have been anything.
Sure.
Definitely didn't feel like Bionicle. Felt more like the movie than how I imagined because I used to read the comics. And another one is a game I played because I love Soul Reaver, Legacy of Kain franchise. I played a game called Nosgoth, which ended up being a weird, almost Left 4 Dead style game, but for that franchise. And I'm just playing it once and being like, yeah, this isn't for me.
Look at it
That's
now.
another
Its
thing
art
that's
style is very similar to Valheim.
Well,
We're just going off the art style.
All right, shall we get into the proper meat and...
He's
Yeah, go on.
Who wants to start?
I'm assuming that the second word was potatoes, wasn't it?
Potatoes.
Yeah.
Potatoes.
Did I cut out again?
Yeah.
You did.
the meat and veg.
I just gotta... Hey, guys.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Ah.
All right, I guess the microphone is right next to my... now.
Right. Can I start us off with one then?
Yeah, sure.
What, should we do it like one at a time each?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
My one is fairly recent, within the last few years.
Okay.
I spent 80 quid pre-ordering like one of the high tier editions.
Is this the same as me?
I was a big fan of Left 4 Dead 2, and
Yeah.
Yeah, this is on mine as well.
and I bought into the hype. I thought,
Yeah.
they sold it like developers from Left 4 Dead coming back, and it's Back for Blood. What a pile of
Yeah.
What a pile of absolute garbage.
steaming garbage.
I also spent the 80 to 90 quid on it, and it was money not well spent. So the way that Dan and I always look at if a game is worth it is £1 per hour. Right?
Yeah, that's completely fair.
I think that's standard practice.
I've
Some
brought that
people
up
pay
quite a few
£1
times as
for
well.
1.5 hours, but yeah, £1 per hour is.
Yep, I have 26 hours in the game, and I have no intention revisiting it, even though I paid for the DLC experienced.
How many of those 26 hours did you enjoy?
Probably about 3 from just moments.
Oh, a generous 3.
You know? Yeah, generous 3.
Generous.
So, a lot of the game. So, okay, so it's in 3 of ours then. Mine, Dan's, and Mikey's.
Yeah, it's in mine. I never played it, thankfully.
Yeah.
But because I was wanted to get it because I also fell into the Left 4 Dead 3 hype, I guess. But thankfully, I put off buying it because it was so expensive, and then I saw just how bad it was.
I literally have... It's one of the few games that I've actually reviewed on Steam.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to push a man to leave a review on Steam.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
find
it
your
does.
review. Find your review.
You want me to read
Yeah,
out loud?
yeah.
I've already got it up.
Oh, go for it.
Okay. It's a fun experience with friends, but definitely not with the price. If you want to relive the Left 4 Dead nostalgia, this ain't it. It's a spiritual successor that just feels like it could have been more. The campaign was fun for a first playthrough, but it just lacks the replayability, attention to detail, and love that Left 4 Dead had. The main issues. The special ridden are too easy to misidentify. There's only 3 special ridden classes, and within each class there are 3 variants with little differences between them. So it's very difficult to realize which variant of the tall boy you're fighting. Versus is a letdown. What made everyone going back to Left 4 Dead is the fact that you could play through the campaign with other people taking control of specials, and it caused so much replayability because you could learn the campaign maps as both infected and survivors. In Back 4 Blood, you just get a wave-based survival versus mode that just falls flat. It's dull and repetitive. Campaign is a one-shot. After playing through the campaign, I really don't see myself going through it all again. The final boss was underwhelming, and the corruption cards either kill the run or makes the run too easy, and the AI, survivors ridden, and bosses at times are honestly pretty laughable. Campaign versus mode is probably never going to happen, and here's why. This I wrote this.
You are typing, boy.
Yeah.
This is the most comprehensive thing since you left school, I bet.
Yeah. Turok has already confirmed that campaign versus isn't happening. And I honestly can't see it being added in the future. It's kind of a combination of a few points above, but mainly about how the campaign was designed. It feels like it was written to be more of a cinematic and more scripted sequences to help tell a story or force a reaction. Like with the ogre chasing you through the subway, the breaker coming out of the petrol station, or the double breaker church fight. It wouldn't be balanced if players could exploit these
Do you remember
scripted
any
sequences.
of those fights?
I do, actually, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, it wouldn't be balanced if players could exploit these scripted sequences when playing as specials to make the boss fights even harder. Left 4 Dead's campaign worked well with the versus mode because there was no scripted fights apart from the finale. You never knew when you'd encounter a tank or a witch because it was all randomly generated. But with Back 4 Blood, it's all meticulously planned out for the player's experience. It's hard to recommend this game when Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 are constantly on sale for a fifth of this game's price. I'll come back to it after more content is added to the game, but as it is now, I'll be returning to Left 4 Dead, as well as most of the community.
Damn,
Just
wow.
a little jab at the end as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wrote a little dissertation there. Cheapers.
Yeah, I literally wrote a freaking essay there, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, that basically summarizes my point of view.
Yeah, that's shared views. That is. I think that's enough Back 4 Blood dampening our lives again.
Yep.
All right, so everyone delete Back 4 Blood on your list. I mean,
Yep. Okay.
let's skip to Tom because it's already on mine and Mikey, so we don't have to go.
Yep. That is true.
Okay.
Well
So this is again that became disappointing, even though it started off quite good, and that was Brutal Legend. I don't know if anyone's played this.
I
Legend.
respect that, actually. The final couple of missions went way into the RTS feel.
You start off. It starts off as a pretty fun hack and slash.
Yeah.
You play as Eddie Riggs.
You play as Jack Black.
You play as Buff Jack Black.
Yeah.
And you've got a big axe, you've got a guitar. The whole world is sort of set out to be like this metal world. There's like metal spiders that you need to harvest their webs for bass strings for Lemmy. And it's all, and you can drive around. It's all very cool. And then for some reason, it becomes an RTS where you have to corral these headbanging Neanderthals, and it just becomes a weird strategy game out of nowhere. And
the thing is,
started off really strong. Yeah,
I really like RTSs, right? But when you sell your game to have like the first 4 hours of it, 4 hours because I was bad and a teenager, 4 hours of it being a hack and slash, and then all of a sudden it's RTS, it kind of fell flat where, what was that game made by the Sims people? Spore. Like, it kind of like got bad where Spore got bad, because Spore was really cool how you started
Funny
off...
you should say that. Spore is on my list.
Oh, no shot.
There's your
Alright,
segue. Take it away,
let's
Mikey.
Let's carry on with Brutal Legend first, Tom.
Yeah, finish off Brutal Legend.
And,
I think that kind of summarizes it. Like I said, the humor was really good. The characters are really cool. And the cameos from like Metal Legends, and then the boss fights and stuff were cool. And then, like I say, it suddenly just devolves. I didn't finish it because of that reason.
yeah, that was
So disappointing.
Yeah, I stopped playing it too when it got to the RTS point because I was like, I've got Halo Wars if I want to play RTS on 360.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Segue straight into Spore. Mikey, go for it.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I've got Spore. From what I've heard, it's.
You haven't even played it, and you're saying it's disappointing.
No. I've played it, but from what I've heard, it's similar to Brutal Legend. No. Because the first, obviously, you've got stages in that game, cell stage, and then you've got animals, whatever it is, creature stage.
Yeah.
The first few stages are a lot of fun. First stage is obviously you're a cell, swimming around, fighting other things, you're equipping different weapons like spikes and stuff. That's a lot of fun. And then you come out of the water, you go to the land stage, which is it's
kind of tribal, isn't it?
Yeah, you kind of explore the land. You can either make friends or attack other little tribes or little nests of creatures. That's also fun. Also, the customizability of all your creatures. I mean, it's famous for the character customizability, whatever the word is. And then you hit tribal stage, at which point it becomes an RTS. So not too bad in this stage, because you're still doing a lot of the same of what you did in the creature stage.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hit your civilization stage?
Civ stage.
Yeah, you got
civilization
stage and the space stage. Yeah. And they just become full-on RTSs, especially the civilization stage, where you're just constantly either attacking or defending, and you've got to mine resources, and it just gets so boring so quickly.
Yeah, I remember whenever I did play Sport, that anytime I got to the tribal stage or the civ stage, I just made a new organism.
Yeah.
Right.
I think I did that a couple of times as well. And then the space stage, to be honest, I've never reached a space stage because I just start again.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen, it becomes even worse on the RTS, where you're having to fly to different planets, and like your goal is to reach like the center of the universe or something. And yeah, so it just becomes super RTS-y, and it just becomes so boring.
Like this isn't a jab at RTS games at all, because
they can be done very right.
Yeah, because I still play Age of Empires, I still play Command and Conquer, but it's like it's RTS when it didn't need to be an RTS.
Yes,
like exactly the same as Brutal Legend, Spore as well. It's like just have it as big monsters fighting each other. That's cool. It's like I get to evolve an organism. I guess evolution goes into civilization and space travel, but still, it's like,
yeah. It was just so
have you ever played
unbelievably
I haven't, no.
Oh,
it doesn't sound like I'd enjoy it.
The first couple of stages, I think you, but then when it gets to the whole RTS thing,
fair.
Yeah.
Cool. So I guess that instantly wraps straight back around to Dan.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I've actually got a nice quick one to do here.
Go for it.
You guys know I'm a big Dragon Ball fan.
Is this fighters?
I think that's come up a couple of times.
Don't say fighters.
No. It's actually Burst Limit.
Which I'm doing a cover of.
I know that. Now, I was like...
Game I never played.
I wouldn't say devastated.
I remember you talking to me about this. Dan, explain why.
Off the back of Tenkaichi 3, which I've probably put thousands of hours into, I used to play it all the time, and I was hyped for the PlayStation 3 game coming out. I was thinking about just how much better it was going to be. And
First ever PlayStation 3 game as well, wasn't it?
yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
I was a little disheartened that it was going to be taking a step back to the 2D thing because I loved the 3D environments.
I preferred the
of
2D.
Tenkaichi. No. I had a lot of time for Budokai 3 as well, so I
Yeah.
wasn't. I was still optimistic, but I just kept getting gut punched. Like, then I realised that it was only going to go as far as Cell,
Yeah.
which I couldn't understand why. And then it was like 21 characters or something like that, including like a
How many
Cyberman.
did Tenkaichi 3 have?
Well, it was like 160 something, but that included transformations. I think it was about 80.
Yeah.
Without that,
But if we're really saying by like playable characters, going from 100 and God whatever you said down to 20, that is pretty
And,
significant,
the cutscenes in it are beautiful. The game was beautifully rendered in its entirety. To be honest, it was just once you'd done the campaign, I got no enjoyment out of just having a handful of fighters to play with. It just so for me, and then
but there was like nothing bringing you back to it, is what you're saying.
Oh,
Right?
I went back to Tenkaichi 3 and just kept playing that on the PlayStation 2. Actually, I put that in the PS3 at the time. But
yeah,
then,
exactly. But like there was nothing bringing you back to Burst.
yeah, and then it just got worse because then they brought out Ultimate Tenkaichi, which was supposed to be the return to it, but it was like rock paper scissors. Like that's how you fought. Like you picked a move, they picked a move, and then you press circle, and if they didn't press circle, your attack could hit. Honestly,
Never heard of that either.
Yeah,
Ultimate
Ultimate Tenkaichi, the rock paper scissors arena fight.
Ultimate Tenkaichi looks like that's where they started doing the custom character thing.
Yeah, it was absolutely horrible.
That red,
So you
redhead
were like
Saiyan
three
is
options. I
the,
see.
Yeah,
We're all looking up
Saiyans.
gameplay of this right now.
Yeah, we are.
honestly, it was trying to play that was just horrendous.
It's basically the spawn of Dokkan, isn't it?
And then after that, you got Battle of Z, which was also just complete rubbish. To be fair, within this, you did get the Raging Blast games, and I actually spent a lot of time on Raging Blast 2, to be fair, which was closer to Tenkaichi 3. But now I've got Spark and Zero to look forward to, so...
Okay, but
I just hope you don't get disappointed by Spark and Zero.
I don't think I will.
I don't think you will.
I think it's going to be good.
From what
I've
we've seen, it looks
already
really good.
I've already spent £100 on the Ultimate Edition.
Dude, you just reminded me of the Ultimate Ninja Storm game I picked up. That's definitely up in the disappointment.
Well, do you want to segue straight into that?
No, but it's not on my list. Okay, that's honorable mention. Another one. Naruto X Boruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections. It was absolutely trash. The main story was god awful, where you had a VR
Got Boruto
headset.
in the name, would you expect?
Yeah, there's that.
Can't believe we finished it, Kev.
Oh, no. We finished the flashback stories.
Oh yeah.
We didn't finish the main story. I had no intention of continuing.
It's
that.
funny you mentioned that just as I brought the picture of Battle of Z is Goku wearing Naruto's clothes.
Yeah, they always did cross promotions, which I absolutely.
Honestly, the DBZ games didn't hit their stride again until like the Xenoverse ones.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna flip this.
Yep.
To a game that actually a lot of people still play and they still enjoy, but I have a deep hatred for this game, and that is Destiny.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh
Yeah, I was incredibly disappointed.
One or
with
two?
Destiny. Number one.
Number one.
I haven't attempted two because I was so hurt from number one, and I'll explain why.
They still
I'll
play the
explain
first one?
What?
I said they still play the first one? Question mark.
Well, no, they play the second one now. You know.
Oh, okay.
As in the franchise in general. So, I bought an Xbox One because everyone in uni had an Xbox One, and that's what they were playing on. Even though I had a PC, a very powerful PC, everyone was like, "Kev, you should get an Xbox and play with us." All right, I'll spend a good £300 on an Xbox One.
What sort of powerful are we talking about here? Like Palpatine levels of powerful?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
No.
Unlimited power?
Yeah, unlimited power. So anyway, and then it got to a point where they were like, "Oh, we're all going to pick up Destiny. It's made by Bungie." Boy, Bungie! I like Halo 3. That was a really good game. Picked up Destiny, and you know what? I was so excited about actually playing console again that I paid for the £80 digital deluxe edition.
Oh,
Which was a waste of money. Anyway, started playing the game, playing the story, and I'm just like, this isn't good, is it? And then I carried on trying to get into it. I was like really willing myself to enjoy this game. I really didn't, and I started playing GTA instead, and that was way. Anyway, it got to a point where they were like, oh, you know what? The game we promised, we're gonna deliver that finally with a £30 DLC. Cool. Okay, well, if it means I'll enjoy a Bungie game, I'll pick up the £30 DLC. Played it, it still fell flat. And I was like, this ain't the game they promised and they were hyping up. And then later down the line, hey, remember that game we were promising? Here's another DLC to fix it, which is another 30 quid. And at that point, I'm what, like 120, 110 pounds down. They want me to spend another 30 quid to play the initial concept of the game that should have been base. It's like, fool me once. shame on you. You know, I was so disappointed with Destiny, and then like I tried to bring back my competitiveness playing PvP, sorry, but no, it was just everyone using the exact same gun that you get from one raid that's just OP in PvP. So what's the fun? Like, what's the fun in that? Like, do I have to spend freaking 10 hours doing the same raid over and over and over again, hoping that I get a gun drop so I can play PvP? No, thank you. Anyway, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I hate Destiny. I'm not giving Destiny 2 a single attempt. Yeah.
It's free.
Destiny 1 was one of the biggest heartbreaks and disappointments for me. Okay.
was it the first one
You
or
got
the
that.
second one where they recast Peter Dinklage?
First one.
First
Yeah.
one.
Oh.
But yeah, like everyone was going on about the lore. And it's like, I'm sorry, I don't want to go around all of these empty ass looking levels looking for one little item that's going to play a sound sample for me to learn about lore. That's boring. Who wants to do that?
Well, didn't they have it
let's-
so that you had to like go to like the website to get more of like
Yeah.
the narrative?
Why do I want to do homework when I'm playing a video game? Tom,
Oh,
please bring up your next one.
Let's see.
I'm just feeling hurt all over again. You know, I
trying to think which one of mine to do. Let's go for South Park. The Fractured But Whole.
I have that on my wish list. I've played through Stick of
Not the stick
I've
one.
never touched
Stick of
Fractured
Truth
But Whole.
is great, but there's something about the Fractured But Whole that just doesn't hit the same. I don't know what it is.
No, I'm with you on this. I'm with
Um,
you on this.
I never played it.
It's so hard to explain. It is, but that's the problem. It's hard to explain why.
Right.
I think the Stick of Truth, like, it really lends itself well to the show. Everything just lands in it, and then Fractured But Whole, it just feels like a more half-hearted attempt at it. And it is, and it's very much the same sort of gameplay. So
Well, yeah, it was a direct sequel, wasn't it?
it is, yeah,
It felt like bad DLC for the first game. Playing through.
yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the first one as well. I spent time on the first one.
I think
It's-
the writing in the first one was better. I think
that's it.
yeah.
I was looking
It's
forward to
just-
actually playing that.
You may have a different opinion, but it's just, it just, like I say, it just falls a bit flat. It's a bit like
Do you feel like they
Doom Infinite versus Doom 2016. It's like it's more game, but it doesn't quite hit the same.
Do you think it was because they already used up the kind of the shock factor and the kind of fresh gameplay with Stick of Truth? So Fractured But Whole was just like not new enough. Like there wasn't
Maybe?
enough added.
Yeah, and I can't remember the plot
Fair.
of Fractured But Whole. It was just very shallow.
I know this
There's-
is a weird connection, but I think
Mm.
that's why I haven't really played Tears of the Kingdom as much, because it uses the same world as Breath of the Wild. So I'm like, I already spent
I think that's the same for me as well.
300 hours looking at like the world of Breath of the Wild. and
Yeah, I
now
never
I'm in the
finished
same
Tears.
world.
I didn't even buy
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
No.
Needed the
that's fair.
first dungeon, and that was it.
No,
Ah,
yeah,
that's
Fractured
a
But Whole,
disappointment.
yeah. That's upsetting to me because I haven't played it and I really want. I'm still going to play it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Get Kev's thoughts on it in like a year from now.
all right then. Well, I'm planning
It'll be
on
hard
I'm planning on playing through Stick of Truth again after finishing GTA, because I've actually started playing GTA and I'm loving it. But yeah, I was gonna do Fractured But Whole after Stick of Truth. I'll keep my expectations low, so dislike it as much.
Keep it up
when
in
I
mind,
play.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last South Park game was Snow Day, wasn't it? And we just opted not to buy it at all.
Well, I was super excited for
I've
Snow
heard
Day.
nothing about that game. I saw it advertised
Yeah.
a bunch.
I was really excited for Snow Day.
It looks weird.
The graphics looked really bad, but I was like, if it's a fun game, I don't care about the graphics. And then I started looking at gameplay and reviews, and I was like,
What even is the
Yeah.
gameplay?
this ain't it, guys. This ain't it. All right, let's move over to Mishi.
Mishi. So my next one that is Kerbal Space Program 2.
This is second.
There is, well, it's still in development, but they released an early access, and it was broken as all hell. Like,
Dude,
like
it's-
unplayable broken.
It's 45 quid and it's early access.
Have you played it,
Yep.
Mikey?
I have, yes.
Okay.
I put a good amount of hours into it as well.
Dan, I was
Yeah.
making sure.
He's gone. I find it super interesting to use an early access game in your disappointment.
because-
it's technically not
I know,
released.
it's-
but
it's-
I'll go on. Shoot your shot.
It's because, for those who have played Kerbal Space Program, it's a great game, fantastic game, loved it.
Yeah, it's well
Literally
received all
infinite of
around.
possibilities. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they announced Kerbal Space Program 2, and it looked amazing. Like, it looked beautiful. You could go to different stars, interstellar travel. You can set up colonies on different planets and all that sort of stuff. And then we heard pretty much nothing about it for a year, maybe two. And then they released the early access, and everyone got super hyped because, like I said, we hadn't heard anything about it, and from what we'd seen, it looked fantastic. And the game was unplayable. Like, if you had a rocket that was more than like 3 parts tall, for those who have played it, it would just fall apart. Like, it would fall apart on launch. And yeah, it's the Interstellar isn't in it. The colonies isn't in it.
So they
Yeah.
promised all of this stuff and didn't deliver.
Again, it's
Or haven't
taken with a grain
delivered
of
yet.
yeah, haven't delivered yet because it's technically is still in early access. So I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt.
I'm looking at the
But-
Steam page and recent reviews overwhelmingly negative. All reviews mostly negative.
Yeah, it was so broken, and
Ooh.
even it's been, I want to say, about the best part of a year since the early access came out. I don't remember exactly when it came out, but I want to say it's been the best part of a year. And I haven't heard anything about them adding. I mean, they did a fix for fixing all the broken stuff, or some of the broken stuff. And I haven't heard anything about them adding anything new. Like,
Dude,
the game is
they've
just
cancelled it.
unplayable. Wait, what?
Yeah, apparently it's cancelled.
Oh, I think I heard something about that actually.
No.
Oh, we get a live reaction.
This is. Well, this is about to be number one on disappointed then.
Okay, it's not officially cancelled. It's meme that.
Isn't
Sorry,
the-
false
isn't
news.
the main
false
isn't
news.
the main guy out though? Like,
Kevin spreading
I know that's crazy. I
misinformation.
never played Kerbal Space Program, and I can see it's got overwhelmingly positive on Steam. 98% of last 30 days, and 95% of all 99,598 users. That's pretty nuts. But I've never played it.
Okay. So it's not quotation marks cancelled, but they have stopped working on it. So the IP could be given to someone else.
Oh, Mikey!
Wow, this has gone from disappointing games to just sad.
Yeah.
I mean, look up the trailer for Kerbal Space Program 2. Even for anyone that watches this as well, look up the trailer when they first announced it. It was a beautiful, like, I'm talking Unreal Engine 5, like ray tracing kind of beautiful. And I mean, interstellar travel, space colonies. Interspace colonies, we can have like space stations.
Okay, Kerbal Space Program 2 producer layoff.
You cut off all of that.
Oh, sorry. Kerbal Space Program 2 producer confirms mass.
Layoffs, Mikey. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no!
Live Mikey reaction.
Yeah.
So, Mikey,
That's just hit me, man.
Put it in the thumbnail.
I loved Kerbal Space Program 1.
Kerbal Space Program 2 with a line through it, Mikey's face.
so basically, at this point, Mikey, it's very unlikely that it's going to be finished.
Oh. Why, man? I'm actually speechless. I want to keep talking. I just can't. I'm actually speechless.
So we should probably go.
That's
to
just
Kevin's
made me
game
sad. Move on. Someone
game?
move on. I need to process this.
Which one do I pick?
Pick the one that you think I might also have.
One that you also have, Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
let's leave that to last, shall we? Because we have a lot to talk
Do you know
about
what?
that game.
But that's like 3 episodes ago, podcast wise. So if you want our thoughts on,
it's shown
Wait,
up in like 2 or 3 podcasts right now.
Did
We've
we
talked about it
already
extensively
do?
by this point.
Did we already do a podcast for?
we did a
Overwatch 2?
whole thing on Overwatch 2. We did.
It was the. Was it the Battle Pass?
Yeah, you made me and Mikey play Overwatch 2.
Before
we did the
we
podcast,
played it like
Yeah.
half an hour. For the
There's
night
not
before,
much
like,
more
oh,
you can
this
say
ain't
about it, to
happening.
be honest. And I know
Yeah,
you're
okay,
disappointed.
that was our second ever podcast. Okay, we don't need to talk about Overwatch. That is on the list.
The
That was gonna
previous
be
podcast.
What we can say
Leave
is
a footnote.
since that episode, we still hate it, and I've
Still
actually
love it.
played it a bit since then.
I haven't touched it.
And
It's been uninstalled since then.
I keep going
It's-
back to it. And I hate that I keep going back to it. Just because I
We got
don't
Marvel's
have.
coming.
An
He does.
We
Yeah,
got
I'm
Marvel's
just-
coming.
I'm waiting on Marvels. That's it. It's my shooter to tide me over to Marvels. That's kind of my thoughts about it at the minute.
It'd be so weird, that Marvel's game, though.
Well,
Not
Mikey,
weird, but-
if you want something right now,
Weird playing.
Concord just came out.
Oh my god.
He's playing.
Isn't that even worse?
Is there like 500 concurrent players for that?
If even.
All right.
Yeah.
How many games do we have left on each other's list? I've got 2.
I've got 2.
I've got 2.
I've got
I've got 3.
3.
All right,
Yeah.
let's do Tom.
Something they have played recently and have
Oh.
stopped. Monster Hunter Rise.
Ah, that's mine. That's on my list. That's one for me.
So, I've got a PS5 mainly because
Horizon?
the idea of it was that it was like it could be like a good console to have for my friends that are kind of falling out a bit more out of touch with, don't see them as often, and it's like a console we've all got. So they've got 2 in their house. I got 1, and we just pick games on it that are on the PlayStation Plus. So Rise went up on PlayStation Plus about a month ago, and I said, "Oh, let's try it." And I came from Worlds, and going from Worlds to Rise was a massive shock.
Which is a normal progression as well, because Rise came out after Worlds.
It did, but it's baby's first Monster Hunter, and it was originally a Switch exclusive.
I think we should also note here that me, Kev, and Tom went all the way through World and Iceborne, loved it.
Yeah, it's
I
beautiful.
think that's fair to say.
Yes.
We loved it.
I know how to play a Monster Hunter game, basically.
And then after we
then
after we finished World, I think we all separately tried the Rise demo. I don't know if Kev did. I know Tom did.
I bought the game, dude.
You bought the game. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we none of us could really get into it.
Yeah.
But that was a year ago, just under a year ago.
So I got my friends to download Rise,
and then so Tom's played it recently. Yes, so continue, Tom.
Yes, I got them to download Rise. They've never played Monster Hunter before. So it's quite interesting seeing it from an outsider's perspective, because I was like, okay, we got to eat, we got to do this in the town, pick up your quest, blah blah blah. And then we got into the zone, and I was kind of like, right, where's like the monster? And I saw something, we got to kind of go to the monster and fight it. It's going to take a bit of time because that's how it goes, and we got to know, there's no health bars or anything. They didn't continue on with it. We only played the one session, but I continued playing it. I think I put about 8 hours into it on the main quest line.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just grew disinterested in it after a while. Like it was Monster Hunter, but it just didn't have the same heart.
It felt more arcadey.
Yes, precisely.
And
like a definite downgrade.
That's not what
I'm really excited for Wilds.
Yeah, I'm so excited for Wilds.
Super excited for Wilds.
And I'm hoping that in 2 years' time, and we do a second video of disappointed games, Wilds is not there.
Here's hoping.
Please.
No, I totally agree with the whole Rise thing. It just
same.
From the reactors at Gamescom, it's looking up.
I feel like a lot of Rise felt like it was designed as a single game. And what do you play Monster Hunter for? Literally for the four idiots smacking one big monster. Like that's what you want.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the most fun you have when you play it.
Only improvement at Wilds had was that they had scaling for 3 players instead of 4.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Wilds, Rise. But here's hoping Wilds also
does that.
Yeah, I haven't. They did a 3-day thing about Wilds, showing gameplay and everything.
I don't want to hear anything about it.
Exactly.
Don't spoil me.
I haven't heard anything about the scaling, so that is still a question mark.
It's not
something
to really talk about.
Dan, shall we? Wait, we've all got 2 left.
Mikey's got 1
now.
Mikey's got 1. Tom's got 2. Dan's got
2.
2. I've got 2.
Yeah.
All right, Dan. Let's go back to you.
All right, my next pick is in the Devil May Cry series.
Okay.
The one that they just called DMC Devil May Cry. The one that came out after 4, before they did 5, where they tried to do a reboot.
Yeah, it looks like something they do. They just call it, just by the name.
Now,
and that nearly made my list.
I remember the moment, right, that the game crushed me. So I saw the previews and stuff, right, and I was like, "Well, what have they done to my boy Dante? Like, what has happened right now?"
Was this like edgy,
young,
short black hair Dante?
Yeah, and just don't get me wrong, the game played beautifully. I'll give it that. Like the actual, the combat mechanics were lovely. But the thing that tipped me over the edge was early. Right, it's right at the beginning. You're in like your little caravan thing. Anyway, you're on this pier fighting this thing, and they put a joke in the game which felt like a big middle finger to everyone who complained about the new look, where this white wig lands on the new Dante, and he says something like, "Not in a million years." I was just like,
why?
What's literally, I was just like, that hurts. Why would you do that? I did play through the whole thing. I will say that I stuck with it. Just I guess out of curiosity more than anything. But I was relieved when they announced Devil May Cry 5 like years later. That was such a return to form for me at least.
The only good thing about that game was the combat with the because instead of changing weapons, you had your your left trigger for angel arms, left trigger for devil arms, and then without them pushed, you had your espada, etc. So it was like that was nice. That felt good.
Yeah, it played wonderfully. I will give it that.
It did play good, but yeah, the story.
Dude, I just watched it not in a million years.
I'm watching it
Actually
now.
a thing. It's actually a thing, dude.
Yeah, and the thing is, when the game started, right, like, I'm already a little bit upset because I loved Dante as a character. Such a unique look as well. And they'd set up at the end of 4, like, the stuff with, like, Nero and stuff, so to get the reboot was really confusing. But it opens and he's, like, getting dressed and there's, like pizza, like, covering his genitals and things like that whilst he's, like, getting it. And I was like, alright, that's funny. But,
yeah, the humour's there, there.
And then the wig lands on him, and I was, ooh.
That is actually just a stab in the back, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because everyone loves Dante's look, the white hair and everything, the open coat with his abs showing.
And the series didn't need a reboot. That's the thing that bothered me more than
No.
Like, Devil May Cry 4 was awesome. I don't know anyone that hated that game.
Well, was it like... Did it end up being a prequel?
What, Devil May Cry 4?
DMC.
I would just call it.
No. No, the DMC.
It's literally just a reboot.
You know, they rewrote his origins and everything were different. Well, like his dad was still Spartan and stuff like that, but I don't think he's half angel in the original. I think the mum's human. Dude,
I think they retconned it. They're saying that it's set place in a parallel universe.
Oh,
yeah.
They saw it did bad and backtracked hard.
Yeah,
it just needs to not exist, to be honest. Yeah,
it's a parallel universe. They're never going to revisit it.
Good.
Marvel.
Yeah, no multiverse.
He's just a variant. It's fine.
Yeah.
Do you know I actually didn't like the idea of Devil May Cry when I was younger, and like saw the games on PS2 and I knew people that were obsessed with it in college, and I was like, this looks like edgy bullshit. And then I played DMC4 as my first Devil May Cry, and I thought, I like this guy. He doesn't take himself seriously.
No, he doesn't.
Which is great.
He's a fun guy.
Yes.
All right, my one. In the same vein as Devil May Cry being like a nice edgy game, mine is Pokemon Scarlet Violet.
Yeah, I knew Kev was going to have a Pokemon in there.
It would have been Black and White, but Black and White story is actually pretty damn good. The gameplay, however, was too easy. But Pokemon Scarlet Violet, we gave that a lot of hours and a big try. The fact that they took out over 50% of Pokemon.
Yeah.
The fact that they said, oh, it's open world, you can do this in whatever order you want. But no, there was a specific order that you should have done it. Because if you rocked up in the ice place and you were fighting the gym leader, the 8th gym leader straight away, and then you're getting trekked because you're not high enough level, obviously. It was just marketed poorly and everything. And also, I don't understand why it's so hard to make an open world Pokemon game. It's very simple. You just make 8 different teams per gym leader that has a simple check of how many gym badges you have. If you have 0 gym badges, they use 2 weak Pokemon. It's not difficult. Anyway, and then we were like, oh, cool. They're really marketing the co-op of this. We can all play at the same time. Oh, cool. Walking around in the same world at the same time. That's cool. And then the only co-op was raids.
Yeah.
We did that once. It was very disappointing.
Yeah.
I don't even think Skeledirge can save this game for Tom.
It was so trash.
He's a quadruped.
He is, yeah. Kev, I think the thing I can say that epitomizes how awful this game was is Oystein streamed with us every week for years, and we made him play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet with us.
Oh no!
Because we thought it would be co-op. After I think 2-3 sessions of it just crushing his soul, He took like an 8-month break.
Yep. Yep. He was like, I think I need a break from like Friday streams with you guys because that wasn't fun.
Yeah.
You're like, yep. Yeah, he's not wrong. It wasn't fun.
Really quick.
It was bad. It was bad.
Optimization in the game, absolutely garbage. Like the fact that there was a windmill that you could see at all points of the game, and it was 1 FPS. That's a freaking joke,
Oh god, let's not even talk
dude.
about the environment and the optimization.
But it's such a big IP as well.
You have games on the Switch that looks like Breath of the Wild. How do you go 2 to 3 years later and bring out Scarlet Violet? How? Anyway,
It's a small indie developer, Kev. Come on, come some slack.
oh yeah, Game Freak, smallest developer. All right, I'm getting rid of that one. I'm
What
getting
was
mad
the-
thinking about the
What's
game.
the DLC called? For that?
What
Do you
DLC?
know?
Area Zero or something like that? I don't know.
Oh, Hidden Treasure Areas.
I don't care.
Thing
I
is,
didn't buy it.
didn't the Legends game come out a few months before it?
Which also looked fine.
Yeah, and ran smoothly.
It doesn't say. That's annoying.
Legends didn't look good, but it looked passable. Scarlet
Yes.
Violet looked dog.
It looks bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess we're back.
Definitely a case of the IP carrying the franchise.
Yes.
I think we're back to your list now, Tom.
Yes. Let's go with this one. So we played through Borderlands 2 and 3 on stream.
yeah.
Much fun. Really enjoyed it. We played through the Borderlands 2 DLC.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Dragon Keep. Fantastic DLC. When they announced Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, I was incredibly hyped for that. I thought, this is a whole game based on the best DLC of the best Borderlands game. And when it came out, I was so excited to play it. I couldn't get enough of it at the time. And then it just dropped off. It just became really quite dry. It got really confusing because it's a Borderlands game, so it's got all these tight, packed environments of enemies. And you don't know what's going on half the time with all the effects, all the spells. They touted it like you had all these unique classes, but it ended up being a watered down version of the action skills that were better in 3. It could have been a Borderlands 3 DLC.
Do you know what
mean,
hurt the
it's just
most
a
for me
full
in that game? It made fighting enemies not fun.
Yeah.
Like, the whole point of Borderlands is the travel is fun. You see new enemies, you kill them, it's fun. But in Tiny Tina's, the travel was done on a board where you have these chibi models of yourself. And then the only time you get into random encounters, it should be fun. It's not. Like, it just... Yeah. I think after the second session, I was like, I don't think I like this.
Yeah, didn't you guys stream it?
For a
at
long
least
time as well.
A while, yeah.
Yeah.
But I just because we bought it at full cost and we were committed, and then
Yeah, I think... yeah.
That's it.
And then.
No, I agree with you. Borderlands hasn't really hit it as well for me as they did in Borderlands 2.
we just
Even
had
though-
the teaser for Borderlands 4, and I'm just like,
Yeah. Borderlands 3 was still pretty fun.
it felt great to play. Just the story was
yeah.
a bit flat.
The gun feel was fantastic. The story was meh, but at the same time, I was never in the mindset that I'm wasting my time like I was in Tiny Tina's and pre-sequel.
Absolutely, I enjoyed playing all the way through. I enjoyed playing as Mose because it's quite unique experience compared to, just playing.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, 3 was actually fun. I enjoyed that. Yeah, let's go Mikey then, I guess.
Yeah. So, my last one is sort of 2 games in one.
Okay.
It is MultiVersus and Nickelodeon All Stars.
Okay. So you wanted
And
a new platform fighter, basically.
Yeah, really enjoyed Smash, and it was meant to be the Smash killer. Oh no, everyone's panicking because it's going to be so good. And then MultiVersus comes out. Are they working on like Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl 2 at this point?
Yeah.
It's not even. It hasn't even been out for like.
Didn't they release
years.
it? They released the second
out.
one.
It's been released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that just shows how bad it was.
I think it was
Oh, God,
pretty
yeah.
well received, dude.
I've heard nothing but bad about it. I mean, I say that it's 9 out of 10 on Steam.
It's mixed review. Oh,
The
wait,
original
no,
Star Brawl is mostly positive, 76.
that's the season pass. Yeah, it's mixed reviews.
I
Anyway.
agree with your shots at multi-versus, though.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
The bloody battle pass in that. It has a battle pass. It's a fight. It's a platform fighter. Why does it have
Everything
a
has a
battle
battle
pass?
pass.
But yeah, I mean, we played it at the Vault for, on and off when it came out for a little
Yeah.
while. And while it was fun every now and again,
It wasn't Smash.
it just isn't Smash. It wasn't Smash. It could never be Smash.
Okay.
And it was so unbelievably disappointing.
And you didn't know, Mikey, that you were playing a beta at the time.
Was I?
Yeah.
Did it get any better?
No,
Okay.
They released it, Mikey, right? That's the one that you were
Yeah.
playing. We were all playing it. Yeah. You could
Everyone
unlock
spent
things.
money on it.
Yeah, you could buy things, you could unlock things, yada, yada, yada. And then they just went, oh, yeah, by the way, that was the beta you've been playing for the last year. We're just going to take it away now.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And then they were like, "Oh, all of your cosmetics yeah, you're gonna have to buy them again."
Yeah.
Sake.
So I have. Can I cook for a bit then
Go.
about Nickelodeon? No, not Nickelodeon. About MultiVersus. So they had a pretty good reception when it first came out. It felt actually quite decent to play, even though I don't agree with some design choices. Right. It still felt fairly decent to play, and it was honestly a good platform fighter for casuals who didn't want to get into the kind of competitive headspace of Smash. And then they took it away, and they're like, right, we're finally releasing it, but we are changing some of the aspects to the game. They slowed the game down. So instead of it feeling like Ultimate, it felt like Smash 4.
Oh.
They added ending lag to everything, and they also changed a lot of the really fun mechanics. So I think it was either Batman or it was Wonder Woman, but being able to like zip around using your like grappling hook as Batman. Zipping around, like doing some attacks and then like zipping away. They changed how that works now. So it's just the command grab, but it's a really long like start up and end lag of a command grab. But yeah, they've only made terrible choices to MultiVersus. And it's gotten to a point where people are like, right, are you still designing this with the philosophy of 2v2s? Because
yeah, that was the big selling point for that game.
Exactly. It was all meant to be 2v2. And then they were like, well, some people are playing 2v1s, so we'll kind of design it for both. No, it's not 2v1s, 1v1. So we'll kind of design it for both 1v1s and 2v2. And it doesn't work. It absolutely does not work that. They just need to choose one and go with it.
It's like 6v6 versus 5v5, but that's a whole new conversation.
Oh god. It just got to a point where like they just kept making it slower and more casual, and it was just meh.
Yeah, super disappointing.
Fair.
Anyway, yes, that is my final one. So I guess who wants to go next?
Let's wrap back down to Dan.
down. Let's back down.
I've got a nice quick one actually.
Okay.
Not too much needs to be said here, but for me, I couldn't pick a single game for it, so I had a cut-off point instead. And it's essentially every Battlefield after Battlefield 4.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah,
Respectable.
5, 1, the police,
20,
the hardline,
42.
and then the new one, 2040, whatever it was, which didn't even have a campaign.
We had some fun on 1.
True. Yeah.
Because it was free.
I just, like, Battlefield 3, I had so much fun with. Bad Company 2, I had so much fun with. And then 4 was just kind of like, perfect. Like, I love this.
4 was the peak Battlefield.
Yeah.
It was
like, they marketed it.
everything you could want.
They marketed it on that Levolution concept, didn't they? And, like, you could bring down skyscrapers and do all sorts of cool stuff. And then I've never put more than maybe 5 hours into a Battlefield since. Because I've just lost interest.
For one of my college essays that we had to do for a module, I did a whole module about the Levolutions of Battlefield 4. Because there was such a cool concept and how they changed how people would fight and stuff.
I just want to say that the game did well when a term like Levolution is now just understood.
Yeah.
I thought
You're
it
not
was just a
wrong.
mispronunciation of evolution, but okay.
No.
It's because the level evolves, so it's a Levolution.
Wow.
But yeah,
I never played 4. I feel like I missed out now.
4 was great. The campaign, great. Everything about it. It was a lot of fun. And I would like them to recapture that with another one, but we'll see.
That's fair.
It's not been a good showing ever since.
I spent all of my time on Bad Company. Okay.
Yep. All right. Next topic.
All right, should we go to Tom's one next?
Yeah, don't want to finish on me. Right, this
Heyo.
one. Heyo. Yooka-Laylee is my final game.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I don't know it.
Yeah. The spiritual banjo, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a very hyped, extremely hyped. I remember seeing the trailers and like thinking, "Oh my god, it's back! It's back!
It's back!
It's back!" And
God, yeah, it is literally just Yooka-Laylee, like banjo.
it was like, because Rare got bought out by Microsoft, etc. And we didn't. And then after we had Nuts and Bolts, and whenever Banjo-Kazooie 3,
We don't talk about nuts and bolts.
we don't talk about Nuts and Bolts, but
What's this we're talking about?
not Nuts and Bolts.
Oh, I've never heard of that game. It doesn't exist in my memory.
And we ended up with this, like, I don't know. It was like let's take everything that makes Banjo-Kazooie really well designed, i.e. the levels, and just expand them out indefinitely for no reason, so that you just feel like you're kind of running through empty parts. Let's add more collectibles with eyes, because that's what people loved in Banjo-Kazooie, right? For all,
Can I
loads
just
of too many different collectibles. Go on, Kevin.
So I know we don't talk about this, but the worst part in Nuts and Bolts for me, right, was starting the game, and then they spawned a bunch of puzzle pieces, and they're like, this is what gamers want, right? They want to collect all of these puzzle pieces, and it was just in a row. I was like, no. What? Are you seriously... They marketed this for Banjo-Kazooie lovers, because it's literally Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, and then they absolutely crap on the previous games. What were you thinking? Anyway, carry on with the whole collectibles.
That's about to get an honourable mention.
Yes, that's supposed to be an honourable mention. But we're talking about Yooka-Laylee here, and these. So yes, they essentially remade Banjo-Kazooie in the form of the lizard and the bat,
Yooka-Laylee.
The Yooka-Laylee, yes. And then they just tried to have the similar kind of humor, which just fell flat. They tried to have the similar villain, like the whole bosses, and like it just was not. And the weird inclusion of some of these like mini games that just didn't make sense. And again, the world was far too open for a collectathon, like because you start Banjo-Kazooie Mumba's Mountain. It's a pretty small level. You kind of know where you're going, and you know exactly kind of what you're going to do. And Yooka-Laylee just feels like a lot of like backtracking, running around, trying to find things just because they're like hidden in some corner of the level that you didn't check. It just didn't hit.
It's like you know the game is bad when one of the first results when you type in Yooka-Laylee, the game is a ROM for Banjo and Kazooie.
It genuinely felt like they looked at Banjo-Kazooie. They're like, right, let's make a checklist of all the things that work in this game, like likable characters, and then someone went, "Oh no, don't do that, don't do that." We don't want it to be the same, like the lovable bear and his little what even is Kazooie bird thing.
It's good.
She
has wings.
Regal.
You play with Smash.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she is.
And then, like, you've got, like, the little sister and, like, Gruntilda, which is an awesome villain.
Gruntilda was the best villain, dude.
Like, that whole transformation she has. Oh, amazing. At the time. And you're right.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yooka-Laylee, Tom, I think, if I was to just sum up what made it awful was just that it lacked charm. It just lacked...
Yes.
Heart.
Yeah. There's nothing endearing about it.
I don't know. Spiritual successor is what they're going for, but it's just
they tried to remake Banjo-Kazooie
yes,
just as a new IP, and it just didn't work.
And when you do that
they couldn't be asked.
Yeah, when you do it for a fairly beloved franchise, it just makes everyone go, I want more Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
Oh, blimey.
Who's got a game left? I kind of
It's you.
last.
You're the big stop.
You are the last.
You're the final stop, Kev.
All right, I'm gonna pick. I've actually got a game Dan and I played, and it was pretty well received by the general. But
the general
public. Did you really need the second word there? But for me, I was quite disappointed in it, and the game was called A Way Out.
Was that received well, was it?
I know it.
Yeah, it was received really well.
Oh, wow. That surprises me.
Same creators as It Takes Two, and I absolutely loved. Hello?
Sorry, I'm speaking out loud, sorry.
I absolutely loved It Takes Two. I actually want to replay it with Dan. Anyway, A Way Out, they kind of sold it in a way where it's like it's all two-player co-op, which it is all two-player co-op. I'm not denying that. And it's all about breaking out of a prison. I was like, oh, that sounds amazing. Like we get to try and figure out cool ways of breaking out of prison. And then it turned into a heavy rain, which means that everything you do is very scripted and you have no choice. You absolutely have no choice. Like, I remember where it was the actual jail breakout scenes, and I was like, all right, Dan, how are we going to do this? Oh, the game is telling you to pick up a spanner. Okay, oh, well, I've got ideas of what I can do with that. Oh, no, I just have to hold left. It's like, the entire gameplay just felt really boring to me. And then
I guess what you were expecting was like, you break it out of prison, you have multiple options, you can do different things.
I'll tell you what I was expecting, Mikey. I was expecting a video game. I wasn't expecting an interactive movie that required two people. A movie that required two people to complete.
I remember when we picked it up, we were excited. Like the idea of co-op breaking out of prison.
Yeah,
just sounded awesome. And then I remember how quickly you break out of prison in the game, and like that part of the game's done so fast, like
Exactly.
and then it just becomes, and I'm gonna say it, an incredibly poorly written narrative. It's diabolical.
Dude,
like
there was this whole like
I've read better
sub-arc.
GCSE short stories.
Remember that like sub arc with my character? He got jailed and he's not talking to his wife and stuff, right? And then your character was like, you know how to fix this? Write her a letter.
Write a letter, yeah.
It's like, are you serious?
Oh, and we did a whole playthrough of it. We
finished it.
We really gave that game some time. And the enjoyment just came from us. Not like what they'd planned to be enjoyable about the game. We weren't finding fun, but Kev not realizing that I'm free falling 2 miles below where he is with the parachute and having to dive down after me. That was fun.
Yeah, the game was like, oh, go catch Dan. I was like, yeah, I'll catch Dan. Where are you? Like, thinking that he's above me, and then all of a sudden, I pan my camera down, and I see him just almost crashing into the ground.
I'd been holding forwards. I was like, bulletin downwards.
Wow.
I didn't realise that only Kev had the parachute at the time, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good... And I'm honestly amazed that it's got a lot of positive... sort of noise around it, yeah, because it wasn't even that long. Like it ended really quickly.
It's
I
very
really
positive on
it.
Steam. That's
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
Like,
I'm with you on that, Kev. I'm with you.
it was just bad. I don't understand why it's so well received.
Just want to point out, Steam is saying it's recommended to me because it's similar to Chained Together and The First Descendant.
It's recommending it to me. It's recommending it to me, Mikey, because apparently it's similar to One Piece Pirate Warriors 4.
Okay.
It's a Muso game. It's a Warriors game. It's not the same.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. Everything that I have against spoon feeding, it's a game full of spoon feeding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's have a final note that I've just one thing. So what we're looking forward to. Mine's Sparking Zero right off the bat.
Oh, you're going for. Hopefully, this doesn't disappoint games.
Yeah. Just one that you're looking forward to coming out.
Wilds.
Think of anything else?
Echoes of the Wisdom.
That's the only thing I'm waiting on.
Is that the one you play as Zelda?
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Is it called Echoes of the Wisdom?
It did look pretty decent.
Echoes of Wisdom? Wisdom of Echoes?
It's because it's the Triforce of Wisdom. It's the
Echoes of Wisdom.
Echoes of Wisdom.
And also, one more.
Oh.
Black Ops 6.
That's priced at like 80 quid.
I miss playing zombies. I really like zombies.
We'll play some zombies, Kev. We'll do it.
And Rivals 2.
Or maybe Mario and Luigi Brothership, actually. That looks good too.
Ooh.
Yeah, on that note, thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank you. Cheers.
See you next time.